Hi guys and welcome back to Think Student. Today we're going to be looking at the best calculators for A-level maths and further maths. If you'd like to purchase any of the calculators recommended in this video, you can find links to them in the description below. If you're wanting the short answers to the question of what calculator should I get for A-level maths and or further maths, it's this. If you want to give yourself the best chance possible in either your A-level maths or A-level further maths exam, you should really be getting the Casio FX EG50. And don't forget, there's a link to that in the description below if you want to check it out. However, if you can't afford the FX EG50, the next best and most suitable calculator for A-level maths or A-level further maths is the Casio FX 991EX, whose link is also in the description below. Now let's get into the full answer to the question that hopefully explains everything in a bit more detail. But if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask away in the comment section below the video. At the top of our list is the Casio FX EG50. This calculator is the absolute best when it comes to A-level maths and further maths, and the only one you should really have for your A-level studies, possessing all the functionality required and then some. This calculator in particular is what's called a graphical calculator, which has the ability to plot graphs, solve simultaneous equations, and perform so many other A-level maths related tasks. Now, having a graphical calculator is not absolutely essential for your A-level studies, but can be extremely useful. The ability to be able to see graphs of the equations that you're working with can really help you understand the links between what is written and what is drawn, and the fact that this calculator also stores the calculations you perform chronologically is great when working with long exam questions, as you can look back and keep track of what you've done. Also, having the Casio FX EG50 gives you an automatic advantage over everyone else in the exam that may have a worse calculator. This is because you have the ability to check almost all of your answers with the FX EG50, whereas someone with a worse calculator may not have this functionality. In my opinion, the fact that some people can have such a great advantage over others in their A-level exams just because of the calculator they have is very unfair. Be that as it may, that's the current A-level maths and further maths system, so it would be silly to ignore it completely and use a poorly equipped calculator. My advice would be to bite the bullet and just get the Casio FX EG50, but this brings me to the only downside to this calculator, which is the price. Currently retailing at around £100, it's definitely on the higher end, so may not be an option for everyone. The graphing feature on the Casio FX EG50 allows me to plot graphs and calculate their roots. As you can see, I'm plotting a complex cubic graph on the calculator, which would take a long time to solve by hand. You can obtain all the roots and turning points of this graph by pressing Shift followed by F5 and then click the respective function keys for each attribute. The FX EG50 is also capable of many advanced aspects of maths, including 3D graphing, which is outside of the specification but will certainly be useful in other areas. This calculator also has an astonishing 3,000 plus functions to use, including spreadsheets and data charts, and also includes a PC connection to allow for transfer of files and installation of emulators. Our second calculator for this video is the Casio FX 991EX. Coming in at a much more affordable price of around £25, this calculator is the next best thing if you can't get your hands on an FX EG50. If you have seen our article on How Hard is A-Level Maths, you will know that this calculator will just cater to the bare bone requirements of the A-Level Maths and Further Maths syllabus. If you have read our article on How Hard is A-Level Further Maths, link in the description, you will know that the requirements of the Further Maths syllabus are more in need of a graphical calculator. However, this is not to say that the Casio FX 911EX is not suitable for either course. It will just get you through your A-levels, but still lacks a few other features that graphical calculators have to offer, such as the ability to plot graphs, which, as we've already mentioned, can be really useful when understanding polynomials and trigonometric graphs. The Casio FX 911EX is the absolute minimum standard of calculator that you should have for A-level maths or further maths. Therefore, if you're planning on not getting the FX EG50, you must get this calculator, as you cannot adequately learn the A-level maths or further maths syllabus while using your old GCSE maths calculator. You can find the links to both the Casio FX EG50 and the Casio FX 911EX in the description below, both of which I highly recommend you go and check out. One of the many statistical functions that I mentioned earlier is being shown here from an Edexcel statistics specimen paper. Working the values using the formulae would take a while, but using this built-in function, it's done in a few seconds. The FX991EX comes jam-packed with a massive 274 functions and offers a high-resolution LC display. These functions cover everything you need to know in your A-level course, from vectors to inequalities and matrices to integration. In addition, compared to the FX ES Plus series, the ClassWiz calculators have hardware with a faster processor and double the memory size. The Casio FX EG50, the calculator that you've most likely used throughout your GCSEs, unfortunately won't cut it for your maths A-levels, and you may be wondering why. This is simply because it lacks the functionality required to perform certain calculations, especially for statistics. For example, the calculators that we've recommended all have the ability to find specific values for the different distributions and can also find A, B and R values when measuring linear correlation. These abilities and many more tend to be extremely useful when answering exam questions and are often sometimes necessary to get the correct answer. This calculator also does not include a graph plotting function, which is not essential for A-level, but as I have previously mentioned, it would be extremely useful. This calculator, however, can be used while doing many aspects of your Year 1 course with A-level maths, but soon enough you'll need a calculator with a higher functionality, which is where the previous calculators come in. Our final calculator is the Q-Connect 8-digit pocket calculator, the most basic calculator you can buy. This calculator is not fit for GCSE, so it's certainly not fit for your A-level maths or further maths studies either. Even though this calculator may not necessarily be useful in these subjects, it could always be used for other mathematical subjects, like accounting or business studies, allowing you to use the basic operators to calculate some amounts and figures. But even though theoretically it could be used for a less mathsy subject, I do not recommend getting this calculator for your A-level studies. That's it for this video, guys. Don't forget, if you'd like to purchase either of the calculators mentioned in the video, you can find links to them in the description. While you're down there, you can also find the link to the article this video was based off and the links to any other articles mentioned as well.